everybody, Johnny Blaze back again with a little bit of a different unboxing this time. It's the new Nintendo 3DS Super Nintendo Edition XL. And I'm not sure if I put it up, I don't think so. If I didn't, I have it in the archives ready to upload, but I already have the Super Famicom Edition. I never thought this would ever come. So now I just got to get the European one, and I'm all set for the Super Nintendo ones. But we're going to do a little different this time. Now, I apologize for the heavy breathing, but it's been a long morning. I just ran into the house to grab this fucker. About 6 years ago, I did a video on hacking a PSP right out of the box. And honestly didn't think any system would get any easier than that. Wrong. Because I'm going to do that again, but this time for this thing. I'm going to unbox this unit, show you everything that's in it, and then on camera, I'm going to hack it right in front of your eyes, free shop and all, and show you how easy it's become to hack these units. And why am I doing that with this? Well, because unlike most people, I'm actually going to play this. This is actually going to replace my Super Famicom unit as my main XL unit. So that's the main reason. So we got the front of the box, and same one as the Japanese and the European. It actually looks, excuse me, fucking slipping out of my hand. It looks like the actual system box, which is pretty fucking cool. And to me, the US had the best system box. And as you see, it comes with a full game download of Super Mario Kart for the SNES. Now, it's not pre-installed. It's actually, you have to download. There's a code, and since I already have Super Mario Kart, I might give it away. I'm not sure yet. Now, I noticed that a lot of the newer systems from Nintendo, starting with the NES Classic Edition, all have this red top. The NES Classic has it. The new 2DS XL has it. Same thing with the SNES Classic Edition, the Switch, and now this. So, go on the side here, a bunch of warnings. There too. Oh, I want to cover that bad boy up. That's a serial number. You can see it looks like this on the side and the back. Same as the system. I gotta get the NES version before that becomes too impossible to find. There's no tape. So we're just going to slide it out. And remember, since this is a 3DS, it doesn't come with an AC adapter. And for those wondering, well, why does the 2DS XL have it but not the 3DS? Well, that's because the 2DS is more geared toward children. And children lose things. And this is cool. Just like the SNES Classic, now you're playing with superpower. That's pretty fucking cool. That's a trace. I'm going to attempt to do this with one hand, which I could probably get away with doing because I actually want to keep the box in good shape. Because this is also collectible to me. So, and if you'll notice, we have our AR cards, and who really uses the fucking AR cards, let's be honest. And as you can see, like I said earlier, there's a full game download, so you have to actually scratch off the code, and it's right there. And obviously the manual, nobody fucking reads. So, let's go into the meat and potatoes of this thing, and that's the 3DS unit. Pulling out one hand, and this looks amazing. This looks a lot darker than I thought it would be. It's a lot darker than the Super Famicom one. It's more like the same color as I want to say as the NES one. The NES 3DS XL. It's definitely the same color as the bottom of the console. Almost. But it actually looks very nice. This is like animated. It's not like a realistic drawing. Got that. And even the power button is purple. That's badass. And of course you got the back here, which is actually the cartridge slot. I'm also putting a screen protector on here, so I'm gonna do that off camera. trying to keep as dust free as I possibly can. You can see the buttons are like the light gray as on the controller. You got your dark purple, your light purple, light gray. It's amazing how this unit looks. I love it. Definitely made the right choice in picking this up. And of course your side buttons there. Now, oh, and then the volumes in the 3D slider is also purple too. And the volume slider is gray. Okay, I'm going to put the screen protector on here, or attempt to. And when I come back, we're going to hack this bad boy. Alright, we're at the squeaky dining room table. Don't mind that shit. Okay, now you can see I have some tools out. Now I had to do some prep work. That would take a while. This is the back cover. And that's take out this little piece of shit, 4 gig that comes with it, and put it in the 64 gig. Now I'm going to switch it out for a bigger one later, but this will do for now. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to system settings first, because I know everybody wants to see this part. Shut up, table. So this ships with 11.5, which is good, but we want it current. So I'm just going to go to other settings. I got the screen protector in here, so it's actually not bad. We want to go to system update. Okay. I accept. We know that already. I'll try to take a seat here. Alright. Now, a couple things you need definitely for this shit. Obviously, you're going to need a Phillips head in order to open the back of the system. A flat tool helps with opening up the XLs, because this thing really just doesn't do it. System update now will be restarted. And 2 important things. Now, you won't need this if you have a regular 2DS with the toaster design, but nice view of our chandelier, but you will need a magnet. Now, this is a pole because I have another magnet. I bought one at Harbor Freight, but it's a big chunky piece of shit, and this actually works. So now what it does, what this hack does, excuse me, let me switch the hands, is that it takes advantage of Nintendo putting in an unbricking program in here. So if, God forbid, if there's like a corrupted system update, your system bricks, you can usually send it to Nintendo, and this is how they would get the system software back up and running. Now, it does this by actually putting the system, it's triggered by sleep mode, and that's where the magnet comes in, because I'll put the magnet near the system. You can see it acts like it's in sleep mode, but it's still on. You can see the power light going in, out, because the sleep mode is triggered by a magnet. That's how the system knows it's closed. But when I remove the magnet, ta-da, turns back on. So that's what we're going to take advantage of. Now, for that, you're going to need an R4. And this is the R4 3DS RTS. And there's other flash cards that work, but this is the only one I had. I keep in the case just in case I need to bring it to somebody's house. And what's perfect about it is it's such a simple automated solution. It's not even funny. So you have the cartridge here. Now you have your SD card. But you don't need the SD card in the R4. It's just a storage option, because you would need to take out this chip, this SD card, and put it in the 3DS. And this is what actually has the programs that will be installed. So you could basically use the micro SD slot of your flash card as a holder, because to me it's just best to just have a straight R4 just for hacking. Now, so what we're going to do, since we know the sweet spot, and that's one big thing, make sure that you know the sweet spot of your console. I'm going to turn this off. Power off. I'm just going to cut the video here so I can pop in the SD card real quick. Now, I forgot to mention that the reason why I'm also cutting it short is because for some reason on these Galaxy phones, even though I have like a 256 gigabyte card in this motherfucker, they limit your 4K video to 10 minutes apiece, which is stupid. But anyway, now we're going to put the magnet at the sweet spot, which is right over here, where it fell asleep at. Now you need to hold down a button combination. I'm going to attempt to do it. And that's Start, Select, and X together. Now with your other hand, you press the power button, which I'm going to do real quick. And as you can clearly see, nothing's happening yet until you move it away from the magnet. And now you can see it's automatically installing everything. All you gotta do is a couple things. We're gonna put in the combo, which is too much glare, I fucking tell you. Which is up, down, left, right, A. See, it's an automated process. It's not like the PSP where it's 90,000 steps, like 6 years ago. Now we're gonna remove the SD and replace it with the original SD, which is this one. And it's actually smart enough to actually know if you put it in, because sometimes the 3DS gets misaligned. And now that it's detecting it, it's installing everything to the SD card. Everything you need. Trying to focus in a little bit. This is insane. Reboot, of course. Now what we need to check is show NAND and then patch ARM9 access. So making sure that those two are checked, we're going to press start to save. And when we reboot, we'll be in Luma. But that's not all. By the way, there's a reason I didn't set the clock yet. Very important reason. And I'll get into that in a second. First, we need to set up download play to be used with Rosalina. So after this hack, you won't be able to use download play anymore. But then again, who really uses it, you know? I'm just going to select that. Now the combination for this is L, down, and select. I'm going to do that real quick again. I'm doing this with one hand. Okay. L, down, and select. And we are at the Rosalina menu. So we're going to go to miscellaneous options. Switch homebrew title to current app. Operation succeeded. And we're going to go B. Save settings. Operation succeeded. And we're going to go to 24, I think is my battery life. And back. I'm going to close the app. I'm going to go, shit, get the hell out of here. I know what to do. Read it. So we're going to close the app with X. And we're going to start it again. Only this time, it's the homebrew channel. Or homebrew launcher, as they say it now. Now you have your boot NTR selector, which is cool to have because you can now with this, another reason people want it hacked is because you can actually stream this to your computer now. You don't need to install a capture card, fuck up your hardware. You can literally just stream your gameplay. So if you're a Twitch streamer and you want to stream a 3DS game, now you can. And FBI is for your CIAs if you want to dump your cart. And then I gotta make a separate video on how to do that. And Free Shop is what we're going to use the most to get our games. Save Manager is perfect. It can dump any save that you have, whether cartridge or CIA. And this is perfect for you Pokemon fans like me out there who want to have infinite Master Balls to go through the newest Pokemon game. Luma 3DS updater for when you want to update Luma. And I always try to after I do this. And A and X, I believe. A. I always try to update Luma. Because who knows when this was made, you know? When the flash card, I should say, was. I programmed it, I believe, back in August, but I forget who initially wrote the program, but if you did, huge thank you. So now every time you just go to download play if you want to use Homebrew. And we're going to go to free shop. Now I noticed I've done about 15 or 20 of these since this new hack came out for people. And I've noticed that the first time you try to update free shop, the first time it downloads something and installs it, it crashes. Like now. And at first it alarmed me, but come to find out it's completely normal. I don't know if that was the developer's intention because it's homebrew, but once you go back to the program and such, it's smooth sailing. So back to free shop. I'm going to take this to the computer, by the way, because there's something we have to do. And it's painless as hell. Hold on a second. Okay, we're at 3dstitlekeys.gq. We got free shop open. And we're going to update it. So we're going to go to auto update title keys from URL. My fat fingers can actually do that. It's going to come with the QR. And this is how you get all your game keys. Refresh cache. Oh, come on. Look, I know my fingers are big, but they're not that fucking big. And what this is going to go back to the regular main menu. Might stop the video in a second. Because I'm almost at the 10 minutes. Believe that fucking... I still can't get over that shit. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Free shop. So that's all you really need the computer for. I'll pick that up in a second. That's all you really need the computer for. It's telling me no title keys. I have no fucking idea. So it's back to the computer we go. It's honestly never fucking happened to me before. Alright. Let's try this again. I seriously wish there was a way to remove the 10-minute time limit from 4K video. Really wish there was. Now it should work as it's downloading the games. Should have no issue. I'm going to restart the video real second. Okay, I'm back real quick. Now, this is an amazing program. It downloads the title keys from the 3DS title key site onto your system. It basically is like a better version of eShop. And as you can see, you have different games from different regions. Now, what's even more impressive is that, first of all, it tells you what's in your SD, what's in your NAND for your DS games. You can download DSiWare. You have your game list to start. That's where your downloads would be. Your controllers, how many things you have installed. Now, I would never download the home menu themes from here, simply because, the hell was I gonna say? Because you can get them from certain sites, like 3DS ISO. Anyway, and just download the ones you need and make a pack out of it. Because if you download the home menu themes from here, it's going to download every single one of them for your region. And you're only allowed 100 themes on the system, so you're going to spend a long time pairing through them. There's almost 400 of them. So Street Pass Meat Plaza is perfect, because we need to update that. And whenever you see a caution, that usually means there's an update or DLC available. I believe green is DLC, yellow is update, so we're going to start that. So while we're talking, this will go through. Now, your cog can be used for many things after that. By the way, the music in the background is from the eShop music. Now, lower it just in case they try to bitch at me for that. YouTube's a motherfucker. Now, the best part is you can actually select what the hell you want. Like, you could select the region you want, Japan, USA, Europe, Australia. You can go by genre, language, feature. You can go by platform, which is great if you're searching for virtual console games, which obviously with a SNES version you're going to. Publisher even, which is pretty cool. The only thing is that for a virtual console, I've noticed that it sometimes freezes up or becomes a little buggy with the virtual when you're downloading a whole bunch of them. So just, you gotta have a lot of patience. And as you can see, for Super Nintendo, apparently more stuff came out in Japan, which is pretty cool. But you can see, and that's going to go on my Super Famicom unit. I'm actually going to make my Super Famicom unit a straight Japanese unit now. But you got all your Super Nintendo games here. Not necessarily in the order they came up, but the order they were dumped. You know, the keys were dumped, I should say. But with a Super Nintendo unit, you definitely need this motherfucker. So what do we got? Super Mario World? Super Mario Kart? So let's go with that, since technically it came with the system. And you have your little description. You have screenshots of each game, much like you would on the regular eShop. And you press X to go back, obviously. But if you want to download, it's as simple as tapping that little download button. And now you can see what's downloading. And this is really amazing. It's so foolproof and so simple, it's not even funny. And, you know, you can dump your carts. You could do that with God Mode 9, but this is a lot easier. Now, keep in mind, you're limited by what the system can download, because I think there's a download limit of only like 300 some titles on the 3DS. So 128, you could put a bigger SD card in, but my experience, and I have 3 of these motherfuckers now with this one, had 4. 128 gig will be the best bet. You really don't need to go any higher than that. Anything higher than that is overkill. So we're going to wait for this to download. But like I said, so you can actually go by region, by publisher. I mean, like I said, it's limitless. You know, obviously, if there's new games, it's going to take a little while to dump the because somebody has to dump the title key, and that's where FBI comes in. You can dump your own cart or whatever the fuck. Or if you acquire it somehow, you can actually use that too. You know, this is going to take a couple minutes, so I'm probably going to pause the video and then come back when it's done. One major thing of this is you're also limited by the download speed of the 3DS. And it usually caps out at about 2 megabytes per second. And I'm on a gigabyte connection, folks. So technically, I can download. You know, I know Verizon always says, "Oh, 900 something gig, megabits a second." That's megabits. Megabytes, you can download about with a gigabyte connection about 15 megabytes a second. And yes, it does go to sleep. And that's another thing, by the way, I forgot to mention about Free Shop. 2 things to mention, actually. If you cancel or interrupt something while it's downloading, you have to download the entire thing again. It doesn't save your downloads. It doesn't save your partial downloads, so you have to wait for it to finish downloading before you're done. Also, that's why it shuts off this screen and keeps the screen tinted, because the 3DS's Wi-Fi turns off when you close this or put this in sleep mode. And that's because that's when the Street Pass takes over. So you can't use the internet then. And that's exactly, why this stays like that, because it's putting itself to sleep enough that it will download your game. But this way you can leave the system open for the Wi-Fi to be used. All right, so we're going to pause this. Or actually, we don't need to. Damn, look, they changed the damn music. Let me see if I can do that real quick. I have a hard time believing that's the only fucking play random track. Ugh. Can't believe that's the only fucking track there is. That makes no sense. But you hear the tone, the notification, the blue went off. So everything's installed. So what we're going to do is go back to the main menu. It's going to say immediately, software has been found. And obviously there's our Super Mario Kart. Obviously we want to. Now the other thing we did was Street Pass, which I didn't make a me for, so gotta do that later. But I just wanted to show you how this works. Obviously not. Yes, I know how restore points work. We'll go to settings. I'm a sucker for the perfect pixel, especially on a big screen. So we're going to resume the game. And there's our Super Mario Kart on a Super Nintendo system, by the way. Let me show you. Oh, of course, the faceplate's not in there. My stupid ass. Alright. But you see, it does work. So. Okay, now we're going to turn this off, because there's one final step to do. And I'm going to pause the video again, because apparently I'm at the 10-minute limit already. Fuck you, Samsung. Okay, so now I'm back again, hopefully for the last time this video. So what we're going to do is to access God mode, which is really important. And by the way, this actually does create, the flash card does create a backup of your NAND, which you should back up ASAP. If you have a big enough card, keep it on there. Because if the system bricks or anything happens, you can unbrick it with that NAND backup. So hold down start, press power, and I just screwed up. I'm supposed to hold it until the program starts. So I can make mistakes too. So once again, try this again. Hold start, press power. Now it comes up. Essential files, backup not found. Create one. Yes. And that sysgm9 out, that's where your NAND backup 2 is. If I'm not mistaken. Or real time. That's one of the reasons I didn't set the clock. Because it'll always pull this shit. I don't know why, but it does. And this is when you need the actual time. So it's 2016. So today's the 28th. I know I got my system one day late. Fuck Amazon. Alright. Let me pause the video a second. Okay, there's the clock, 11:34. I had to check my clock. Now we're going to go to reboot. I don't know why they fuck up the clock for. That always bugged me. I'm guessing it has something to do with the fact that it's getting flashed back. I don't know. But watch how off this clock is. So we're going to go to other settings. Date and time. Today's date. Oh! I didn't know we're all the way back in 2033. God damn. Alright, date's been set. The current time is what was 11:34, so it should be 11:35 now. So we're gonna just exit out of here. And with any luck, this should be complete. Damn dining room table, shut up. 11:35, so we're gonna turn it off again. We're gonna turn it on one more time to make sure the time kept. And the time kept. So now you are officially done. Voila. A few steps along the way, but now you know. Where's that blinking? I don't know. But anyways, but now your system's fully done. Enjoy your new custom firmware system if you're following along with this. I'm hoping to see if I could put find the original file that I used, because I did this flash cart when I had my laptop and I switched computers, so I have to find the original code, or at least the original program I got it from. But if I find it, I will link it in the article. So there you go, a new Super Nintendo unit, fully hacked right out of the box. Now, and remember, this can be used for any member of the 3DS family. 3DS, 2DS, 3DS XL, even the new 2DS XL you can do it with. So it's all about finding the system you always wanted for the 3DS. Go out, buy it new, or buy it used, whatever the fuck. You can do it, whatever. And just because Nintendo will never patch this unless they want to remove bricking protection from the units, and that's never going to happen. So, enjoy your new systems, folks. Go out, pick some up.